All right, good evening. Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday night live stream. Thanks for being here. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Special thanks to all the fathers in the house who are taking time out to join the stream tonight. Sounds like my audio is working, so I'm going to mute that. And I'm going to go this, let me see. I got to make sure I got all the things in line right there. Good evening. Thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate everyone being out there. See Andy Cowley's in the chat. N5SKT's in the chat. Tag Loomis, who was the original creator of GridTracker, he's in the chat tonight. He said he was going to watch the chat and maybe kind of field questions for us. So thanks for being here, Tag. Appreciate you taking the time out. Sebastian is going to be joining us tonight. He's one of the developers of GridTracker, and maybe he can give us a little bit better insight on who's doing what with it these days. I know it's grown a lot over the last couple of months, couple of years, something like that. And so looking forward to getting it installed and seeing what it's looking like. I have been on 6-meter FT8 for about the past 30 or 40 minutes. And it's been pretty cool so far. Let me see if I've got that up here. No, I don't. Okay, I'll bring that up here in a second. But I've been on 6-meter FT8, so 6 meters is up for the moment. If you look in the wrong direction or sneeze, it might drop, but you never know. It's just down the magic band. That's how it works. So it's all good. All right, couple of quick announcements here. As I mentioned on my Friday shopping video, hopefully some of you guys watched that. Hopefully most of you watched that. Appreciate the ones of you who were there and watching that. But I did an update on my website, hamradio2.com, which just forwards to livefromthehamshack.tv. It's 2 URLs I've had for 3 or 4 years, something like that. So did some updates here, just put some cool pictures at the top. All of these links at the top are, well, most of them are new. A couple of them are recycled. There's the Discord link there. It's a little bit easier to share. Link directly to YouTube, my Patreon page. You can sign up for my email list. This affiliates and deals page I've been working on for the last week or so, and I just put it up earlier today. These are links to coupons. There's a 7% off coupon from Better Safe Radio that's there all the time. There's links to Bridgecom Systems, buy2aradios.com. There's these gigaparts pages here. These 3 specific gigaparts pages are discounts, 5 to 10% discounts specifically for my viewers. You click right here, and it opens up a page to my ugly face at the top with a 5% code off for these carbon fiber masts. So special thanks to Gigaparts for allowing, for sending you guys discounts. And then my Radiodity coupon is there. So those are at the top. Affiliate links do earn me commissions on some items. So really kind of, not all of them are affiliate links. Some of them are discounts for you guys. Some of them are affiliate links. Just kind of go there. But that's like recommended links that I go to for stuff, depending on where I'm going. Speaking of affiliates, tomorrow is Amazon Prime Day. Amazon Prime Day 2021 is tomorrow and Tuesday. I did live streams last year for about 60 to 90 minutes, 1 to 1.5 hours, something like that. Just talking about, hey, let's find some cool stuff on Amazon.com. Some cool stuff on Amazon Prime. I do earn affiliate commissions from purchases made through my Amazon link, through my Amazon store, which I'm showing right here. I just shared that link in the chat. You don't have to use it. You can. It does help support the show. It's totally up to you. But that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. I'll be live streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time, and again Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Time. And we're just going to be going through Amazon looking for ham radio type stuff. I'm going to look for a bunch of solar panels, solar generators, solar battery, or like LiFePO 4 batteries, solar charge controllers, that kind of stuff. Of course, we'll look at two-way radios also, maybe some GMRS and FRS stuff that I didn't really focus on last year, but GMRS and FRS has been really hot in the last 6 to 12 months. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Those links are already on my channel. This is the link to tomorrow's stream. I'll go ahead and copy that there and share that in the chat. I don't have Frank tonight. Frank's out doing the family thing tonight with his dad. So I am by myself tonight, but it's all good. I enjoy the heck out of that, and really like just being here live streaming with you guys. So one of the masks on the page is fiberglass. Ordered 25 fiberglass from Gigaparts, and the code worked perfect. Yeah. So Don, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. That's not just the carbon fiber stuff. It's all of their push-up masts, and it's their 2 tripods that they'll be offering that are almost ready but not quite. So they're going to be offering tripods also for the carbon fiber and fiberglass masks to go into. That code works for all of that. So yes, thank you for bringing that. I typically say carbon fiber mask, but it's actually everything. So that is how that works there. Okay, let me go over here. Oh, one last thing. If you're in my Discord channel and you scroll up to the giveaways section, which is at the top, I am giving away Ham Radio Prep, hamradioprep.com, which is it's a website to get your license. You can get your upgrade. They do sell courses. They also have a free app, and they have a book. And this is about the same price as a book you would purchase from W5YI or from ARRL. It's a study guide. On the front of the book, it says free access to online course. So I assume if you buy the book, you get the online course for free. I've gone through this. It's pretty well put together, actually. But they sent me this book, and they said, please advertise this, and we're going to give 10 of these away to 10 of your subscribers. He said, pick them however you want, and let us know, and they're going to drop ship them. So they're going to drop ship a brand new technician class license manual. Question pool is good from 2018 to 2022. So you got about another year on that question pool. I think they renew in June, so right at another year. But if you know someone looking to get their license, you got someone in your family looking to get their license, you want to give these out to a local club or to a school or something like that. Great book. They're going to be drop shipping 10 of those for free. Go to the giveaways chat in my Discord, which the Discord link is at the top of hamradio2.com, the website I just showed you. And just click on the little bugle icon down there. And that drawing will be Thursday. I'm giving about 4 days. I wanted to make sure I got it announced out there. So we'll talk about it again on the stream tomorrow. But that's out there now. We're going to be giving away 10 of those books. Well, they're going to be giving away 10 of those books. And really appreciate those guys supporting the channel and supporting ham radio the way that they do. All right, let me switch over here, and I have this here, and this, and there's Sebastian. Sebastian, good evening, sir. How are you today?
Jason, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, man. Thanks for being on tonight. Really appreciate your time on Father's Day. I hope I'm not interrupting your schedule too much, but looking forward to the chat tonight.
No, I'm happy to be here.
Good. Well, give us a brief intro about yourself.
So I'm a COVID ham. I jumped into the hobby last year at the beginning of the pandemic. Got my license probably the first couple of weeks of online testing.
Okay.
Thanks to the Glark team, that I was very thankful for them to set it up, and dove into the deep end of a pool right away.
Yeah.
Got into with a little Xiegu G90 radio and started playing with HF and discovered FT8. And I can't remember how I found out about GridTracker, but it really blew my mind. It was like, it's like in the Matrix when Neo sees the code falling down the walls.
Yeah, and he realizes what it is. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, that's how it felt. I can see what's happening everywhere at the same time, and I can pick up what to do based on that. And I kind of like kept using it, and at the end of last year, sent an email to Tag saying, hey, I have this idea I'd like you to do. And he said, hey, I'm open sourcing it, so come and do it.
Right.
He right away gave me access to the repository and started taking my contributions. He literally open sourced it. I can't remember if it was October or November. Mm-hmm. And we are now a team of about 12 people contributing actively, helping him get it out every. We're trying to do a release every month, bringing new features, trying to make it, fixing bugs, fixing problems, and adding new code.
Good, excellent. Okay, well, that I mean, I have an IT background, but I'm not a developer. I don't write code. I'm not that smart. So, but I appreciate you guys who do that sort of thing, and I think it's really cool for hams with that background to come in. And even though you're a new ham, you've obviously got experience writing, developing code like that. So that's really cool that you jumped in so quickly.
Yeah, I work as a software engineer, what they call a principal engineer, which means old guy who's made a lot of mistakes. Okay. So and I work with small teams in startups, so it's kind of like the same stage where GridTracker is.
Yeah.
Which is basically lots of good ideas that have been thrown at the wall for a while, and we can now see what sticks, and we can like grow it up from there. So it's kind of like was the perfect match.
Good, excellent. Okay, all right. Well, I just gave a screenshot here. Here is what my screen looks like right now. This is my SmartSDR for FlexRadio running. This is my Sebastian. Let me know if you can see my screen or if you just see me.
I don't see screen or you. I see on another window. I see YouTube on a delay, but here it comes.
Okay. I changed it.
Yeah, I see gray now. So that must be you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, and I'll fix that for you. Boom.
Okay, there it is.
How's that?
Good.
Okay. All right, good. So I what I do is I start all my stuff and I get it rolling, and then I like to restart Streamlabs OBS right before right before I go live, because it has a habit of freaking out if it's been running too long. So
yeah,
I like to get a fresh copy of it. So sometimes I forget to restart stuff. So anyway, so 6 meters is up. That's 6 meters that we're seeing right there. In fact, I'll go to that view, and we can see each other and see the screen there. So I have downloaded GridTracker and installed it. I just downloaded it like 3 hours ago. Okay, so it should be the latest version, and I installed it. I have done nothing else. So give us a brief, just for those out there who may not know, give us a brief synopsis of what exactly GridTracker does.
So GridTracker does a few things at the same time. One is it gives you a nice map view of your entire log. It can show you what countries you work, what counties you work, states, zones, all of those things in different bands. It's a great way to see your log. The other thing it does, it can connect with WSJT-X or JTDX or any application that does FT8, and it can see all the messages that WSJT-X is receiving. And it can show those messages to you in a nicer way. It can show you what we call the roster, so that you can, instead of seeing all those messages scrolling by on WSJT-X and try to figure out where to click quickly before it goes away, and try to decode the colors and the call signs and the country codes. It shows you a nice table that you can add and remove columns, and you can tell it what you're looking for. Are you interested in states? Are you interested in zones? Or you really don't care about those? And then it makes it a lot easier for you to decide which stations to contact. And then it sends that to WSJT-X and it says, hey, please send messages to this station. And it can also do alerts. You can tell it that if it sees a new DXCC entity you haven't worked, please ring a bell and let me know, and let you know that something's worth your attention.
It's just a local alert on your computer? Yes. Okay.
So those are the core 3 functions, if you wish, of GridTracker.
Okay.
Not everybody uses everything. I particularly don't use the alerts, in part because I run GridTracker on like a remote computer. It's a remote computer that happens to be here in my desk, but I access it from BNC and from my phone. So I never set it up to have audio other than the connection to the radio. So I don't do alerts, but I do the roster heavily.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and like I said, I downloaded and installed it, but I've not even launched it yet. So let's start from the beginning and tell me what to do.
So just click to install.
It should be installed already.
If it's installed, then launch it.
Okay. Do I need to restart WSJT-X or anything?
No, you shouldn't have to.
Okay.
The installation, probably you had Windows complaining about it being
I did.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to do a sign installer so that Windows doesn't complain.
Yeah.
But right now, all you need to do is say that you trust us, that it's okay. We'll if we mine any Bitcoin, we'll split the money with you.
I'm used to. I run a lot of Chinese DMR software, and Windows doesn't like any of that. So I'm kind of used to all that. Okay, so we've got a.
So you can
maximize.
You can skip the information. I mean, you should read the notes. Always read the manual, right?
Right.
But you can close that window if you want.
Okay.
And what you see there is that seems to be a map.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you already loaded your log or pointed it at something.
No.
Each one of those yellow grid squares is usually someone you've contacted. But if you see on the right column, there's like 4 blue boxes, and underneath that there's a clear log. Click on clear log. Let's start with an empty canvas.
Okay.
There you go. So the boxes that are left is what we are getting from WSJT-X.
Okay.
Seems that the default configuration was working already for you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But I'm gonna go over the couple of things you need to do in case somebody is watching and they want to do it.
Sure. Good.
The main thing is if you go on WSJT-X and open the settings. And file settings.
Settings.
Yeah. There's the logging. Let me open them because my view of your screen is low quality, but I can try to guide you.
Okay.
I can try to guide you blindly because I've done this so many times. The reporting tab.
Reporting. Okay.
In the reporting tab, there's a UDP server around the middle of the window.
Yes.
Yeah. So that should have, it probably says 127.001.
Yes.
That's the default. It basically means any messages you see, report them using UDP on the local computer using port 2337, I believe is the...
2237.
2237.
Yes.
Some people already have it talking to other programs, and then N1MM or Log4OM or JT alerts. If you have that, the easiest way to get it to talk to everybody at the same time is to change that 127.001 address with a multicast UDP address.
Okay.
And 239 is the magic number there.
Okay.
Pick 239.something.something.something. I go with 239.239.239.239 to be original.
Okay. All right.
Then that will let it talk to any other software that's configured with the same random string of numbers, as long as it starts with 239.
Okay.
On the GridTracker side, if you click on the gears, there's a bunch of icons the third row down, the rightmost has like a green and brown gear. Yeah.
Yes, right there.
If you click there. Go to the first tab, General.
General. Okay.
Yeah. There it says the port is 2237. If you click on multicast, you can enter that 239 number there. But in your case, you already had 127, which is the default on GridTracker. So as soon as you open, both programs are talking.
Yes.
Basically, WSJT-X is always sending that stream of messages it's decoding. And now GridTracker is there to listen.
Okay.
So the squares you see on the screen are those messages.
Okay.
One thing I want you to do, and this is, I looked at PSK Reporter, and it doesn't seem like you are reporting to PSK. And that's a setting on WSJT-X that everybody should enable.
Okay.
So if you go to the same reporting tab on the WSJT-X settings, there is one selection just above UDP server that says enable PSK Reporter.
Yes. Okay.
That is, it makes the magic more magical.
Okay. Sometimes I have that running and sometimes not, but I'm always there's something out there that captures it, whether that's checked or not, because I get ham alerts for I use Ham Alert, which is an app and I follow certain call signs, and I follow my own call sign so that I know
it'll show up on Ham Alerts.
Yeah.
Hammer uses the PSK reporter data.
Yeah.
GridTracker uses the PSK reporter data. A lot of
Okay.
people are using it. It was even used to try to find out the route of that. It was Malaysian Airlines flight that got lost.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's
They
right.
use PSK data to try to see if they could find the trace of where it went. Anyways, going back to GridTracker.
Okay.
You've enabled PSK reporter. That's good. You have GridTracker talking to GridTracker listening to WSJT-X.
Right.
Now it'll be if you have a log file that you can you want to show. If you have an ADIF file,
I do.
You can click on that ADIF folder icon on the close the settings windows.
All right.
Yeah, and then click on that ADIF. There's like a folder. Is the fourth row, the first icon in the fourth row.
Oh yes, right here. Got it.
With that, you can go look for that file.
Look for the WSJT-X ADIF file.
Yeah, that would work.
I just use the default WSJT-X ADIF logging right now. I'm kind of working on some other stuff to do a more complex logging, but I don't have that running on this computer right now. So
and when we listed the wonderful things that GridTracker does, I forgot to mention that it is also very useful to report your FT8 QSOs to Logbook of the World, to QRZ, to Clublog, or any other of the online services most people use.
Yeah. Okay. I can never remember where this is, so I'll just go there.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Perfect. So click on the ADIF file.
Yep.
And it will load it. And that might have been what we saw when we first. Yep.
Probably so.
That seems to be what we first saw. So those are, and they show up yellow because they have not been confirmed. Since we're only using your GridTracker, your WSJT-X ADIF, it doesn't know about what has been confirmed or what has not been confirmed.
Right. Correct. Yes. Yeah. I don't have auto Logbook of the World upload enabled right on this computer. So yes.
If you had downloaded your Logbook of the World logs or your QRZ logs, it will show them in green.
Okay.
So you know what you've worked and what you haven't.
Okay.
And if you click on the GridTracker settings, again, we're going to be going in and out of that window.
Sure, that's fine. That's right here, I think. Yeah.
A log tab.
Logging
tab. Okay. So anything, that's all the services we support right now. There's 3 columns you see there: the menu, startup, and log. Log means we can report your FT8 contacts to that service. Menu and startup means we can download your logs from that service, either through a little click button on the menu on the row of buttons or at startup. And that's there's fewer services on which we do that. Basically, QRZ, Clublog, and Logbook of the World.
Okay.
That's where you set it up. You put your credentials, your login, or your API key for that service, and it becomes available for download through GridTracker.
Okay.
And this is how you basically take a look at what your log looks like. I use it to look at not just my FT8 log, but all my contacts to get a sense of what countries I've worked and what's left and what not. The next thing you want to do is, let's close the settings, make the map a little bit smaller. I usually have it like taking quarter of the window. No, the entire window, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Or you can make it smaller. You can zoom out if you want.
How about this?
Perfect. So in the row of buttons, the first one has like a metal, and that's the roster. That's the call roster.
Open call roster.
Click that and move the window to the side.
To the side?
So somewhere you can see.
Oh, so I can see it at the same time. I see it. Okay.
That is what you can hear through WSJT-X right now.
Okay.
I can't make exactly what the options you have right now, but if you click in more, the more controls link at the top right of that window.
Yes.
It'll open. Those are basically all the settings you have to control what is shown there.
Okay, so right now it's checked grid, DXCC, and QRZ.
Yeah. So
Oh, and also CQ only and has grid.
perfect. So I would get rid of the CQ only. I like to see everybody who's
Yeah,
in the band.
Okay, there we go.
One thing that I haven't discussed yet with Tag and the rest of the team, but I want to make it so that we can show you if somebody has been calling CQ recently. Because right now what happens is that you either see somebody who's calling CQ right now or who is in a QSO with someone else. And sometimes if I see somebody who's in a QSO, but that's in a grid I haven't worked or in a country I haven't worked, I will start a QSO with them, which can be a little bit rude if they're not calling CQ.
Right.
But if they've been calling CQ in the last 5 minutes, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Kind of like, so I want to work on being able to show you that.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So here you can see the first of the three green selection areas. The first is logbook, and that you can work either the live band, which is you're working on 6 meters right now, right?
Yes.
So that'll show you the who's on 6 meters. Not just the roster shows you who's on 6 meters, but the grids you've worked and the DXCCs you've worked is based on what you've worked on 6 meters.
Okay.
If you change that to mixed band and modes, it'll basically show you who you've worked and which countries you've worked based on all the bands and modes.
Okay.
So if I can't read exactly who the last line in the roster is, but that's basically a grid you have not worked.
So so I change it to mixed band and modes. The last line in the roster says VE3 KRP.
Yeah, you haven't worked that grid in Canada.
Correct.
That's why it shows in blue.
That's why this shows in blue. Okay, so these ones above it are like black with blue outlines.
The outline, the halo, as I call it, means
halo.
that you've worked but not confirmed.
Okay, gotcha.
Once it's confirmed, it disappears from there.
Okay.
And kind of like the second of those green selection boxes, the one that says call signs.
Yes.
That's where you can say, show me all traffic or only hunting. So that if the traffic is not involved in something you're hunting, and what you're hunting is the checkboxes to the right of it. So right now you're hunting for grid, DXCC, and QRZ, I believe.
Yeah, that's what came up as default of wanted.
That's a default.
Yeah.
So if because you don't have anything, you don't have confirmations, it won't make a difference until you get things confirmed.
Okay.
But once you get things confirmed, they stop showing on the roster.
Now, if I wanted to do if I wanted to set up confirmations now, and part of my WSJT-X log has been uploaded to Logbook of the World, and part of it has not. If I enable confirmations now, is the program smart enough to know to not create any duplicates?
It should not create a duplicates. It will download whatever it's on Logbook of the World and consider that as verified. It will report any new contacts to Logbook of the World. And when you upload your entire Logbook of the World is smart enough to deal with duplicates themselves. So
sometimes that can be kind of quirky, I've found, but generally speaking, that's correct. So okay, all right.
I personally use QRZ as the main. I upload and download all the time through GridTracker to QRZ.
Okay.
And that's how I keep track of what I've worked and what I haven't worked.
Okay.
But Logbook of the World or Club Log are perfect for that. Any of the three would work fine. So once you have that, you can basically tell it to not show you anything that you don't want to work.
Okay.
Or to show you the entire roster, but with the blue and with the color highlighting that tells you what is of interest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, one thing we can do, if you can start calling CQ on FT8 on WSJT-X.
Yeah.
Just call CQ or pick somebody. Let's do it through GridTracker.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's
So
say
how do we do that?
which of the three contexts you have there seems more.
Well, this this call sign here, WA0D, is actually a friend of mine. So
And you probably work him, and that's why it shows the outline.
Well, I've worked him, but I don't think I've worked him on 6 meters. But I could be wrong about that.
That's because do you have mixed mode in the logbook selector in the roster?
Yes, it says mixed band and modes.
If you switch it to live band and mode, it should change that and not show him.
Okay, so he's not haloed anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a new feature if you switch it to mixed band and modes, and then on the third selector, the hunting, select mixed.
Okay.
That will now use, like, if it's a dimmed color, it means you've worked him at a different band. Okay. So it's kind of a mix of live and mixed.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that if it's a fully bright alert or highlight, it means you've not worked that grid or DXCC or call sign at all.
Okay.
If it shows dimmed, it means you've worked him at a different band, but not the current band.
Okay.
So that way you can get a sense of what's more important or not.
Okay.
And in there's a bunch of checkboxes for hunting. And that basically is where you tell GridTracker what things you care about.
Right. Okay.
I tend to use grid DXCC QRZ and CQ, ITU zones, state, and county. So the first four, I believe, in the second row.
CQ, ITU zone, state, and county.
And as you select them, the columns show up on the list.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, they did change.
Yeah, you can also right-click on the table below and you can add more columns or remove ones you don't care. So if you have a beam you can move, you can enable the heading column, for example.
Okay.
If you don't have a beam, then that's useless information and you can disable it.
Okay.
And one important thing you might want to enable is there's a column for spots.
Spots. Okay.
Towards the bottom.
Right. Spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spot.
Okay.
So right now, you haven't been spotted because you haven't been transmitting.
Right.
If you start transmitting, GridTracker will start asking PSK Reporter to see who is hearing you.
Okay.
And that will show up in the table.
Okay.
And that's very useful to know who is worth contacting. So if not everybody has PSK Reporter, as we learned this at the very beginning of this streaming. Right. So the fact that someone is not hearing you doesn't mean that is not worth a try. But often I tend to focus on people who have confirmed they can hear me. Okay. So GridTracker will download that information every 5 minutes. We used to do it more frequently, but we kind of put too much of a load on PSK Reporter. So we had to scale that back to be nice partners. Okay. But 5 minutes is enough for that. I'll tell you something else later about another feature of GridTracker that helps with that. But for now, so if you start transmitting, if you start contacting one of those stations, just double click on the call sign.
Okay, I was about to say, how do you start? I'll just double click on the call sign.
If you double click on the call sign, their call sign should show up in WSJT-X. And the messages have been pre-filled.
Yes.
So if you click on start on the enable TX button, it will start transmitting.
Gotcha. All right, so GridTracker doesn't start transmitting on WSJT-X. You have to.
WSJT-X will do it if you click on someone who's calling CQ, but not anyone else. Okay. JTDX, which is an alternative to WSJT-X, there's an option in the miscellaneous menu that will tell it to accept any kind of message. Gotcha. And basically, in that case, as soon as you double click on GridTracker, it starts transmitting on JTDX.
Okay. Right. I've heard of that program, but I've not tried it myself.
Another thing you can do is if you go into the settings for GridTracker, It's in the lookups, the second tab, I believe.
Lookups. Okay.
There's a bunch of databases you can download. If you enable the US ULS logbook of the world, there's those 4. Yeah. If you enable them, they'll be downloaded.
You want me to download, enable all 4 of them?
Yeah, or maybe the first 2 for now, but it's
Okay.
good to enable all of them.
Okay.
Then now the call signs you see in the roster will show their state and their county.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. That's useful.
Yeah.
That's useful.
It's not a live lookup. It's done using the FCC database basically.
Okay. Okay, good.
And once you enable it, I think it's like every week or so it'll be refreshed.
Okay.
GridTracker will get a new copy.
Okay.
So the map, let's look at the map window. And the map window also has the in the center of the controls on the right, the bottom one is the data, and I believe it says logbook and live. If you click on that button, is on the middle, there's like the 4 green select. Yeah.
These right here?
Yeah, the 4th one.
Data, logbook, and live.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
Click there.
Okay.
And it'll go to live.
Go to live. Okay.
This, you see the 4 boxes there are basically the people you see in your roster.
Ah, okay.
And you see 4 and not the 2 you see in the roster because you're either showing all traffic call signs, but not, some of those might be older. So the you can set a different timeout for the roster and the map. So you can say, show me anything in the map that's been alive for at least for 10 minutes. And but the roster is set to 5 minutes, and that's in the options.
Okay.
But and the depth of the hue, the blue hue, tells you how long ago is the last time we heard from that station. So the dimmer blue boxes in the map, those grids, that means we haven't heard from that station in a while.
It's been longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that helps you understand what's going on and decide who to contact or what to do.
Okay.
There's also on the map window, there's like a button that says transmitting, that it's now red. It says transmitting. You can use it to stop JTDX if you want, but that kind of tells you what the WSJT is doing right now.
Okay.
And it's like a control, but underneath you see that little graphic, that chart with the different bands and red and blue.
Yes.
That is also based on PSK Reporter. What bands are active in your grid square?
Okay.
So people around you right now are talking on those bands.
Yeah. So it looks like 6, 17, and 20. 17 and 20 have been up for a while here. So 20 is always up, but 17, sometimes 15. 15 looks like it's got a small blip there.
Yeah.
But
good. If you live in a grid square that doesn't have too many active hams, then it's usually you who show up in that yourself that show up in that chart.
Okay.
But it can tell you where other people are working, and if you're missing something that's going on. That's usually how I tell if 10 and 6 are active, is I see those red bars pop up.
Gotcha.
Go take a look.
Okay.
What we can do now is do a little tour of the rest of the buttons in the map window, because there's a lot of them.
Sure.
So the first one you saw, it is the call roster.
Yes.
The next, it changes from grid to push pin mode, and I'm gonna have a discussion with Tag, because I think that push pins are a thing of the past. I think that GridTracker should be about grids and nothing else. But hey, we're an open source team now. We have to have these discussions.
Right. Okay.
If you click on it, it'll change the map from grid to push pin, basically.
Oh, I see what it does. Yeah. I like the grids better as well.
Yeah, I think that the world decided that grids is the way to go for ham radio.
Right.
The next one, it's a lookup window. If you click on it, you can look up somebody.
Okay.
If you go on the roster and you right click on any of the people there, there's a lookup option.
Yes. Okay.
And you can look them up.
Okay.
If you leave the lookup window open, it'll show you whomever you're contacting right now. It'll
okay.
update it as you contact people.
It'll update itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have enough screen real estate, you might want to leave that window there to see their photos.
Okay.
The next is the statistics, the next button, and and that's kind of like gives you a view of your log. You can search your log, search the grid. There's tabs for different, like who was your first contact, last contact. You can spend some time looking at all those different tabs. It gives you a summary of all the log that GridTracker knows about.
Okay.
That's usually a good way to see what's going on.
Okay.
The next row of buttons, there's one that toggles online and offline mode. That's if you don't want it to do any online connections. If you're working offline, it'll use an offline map. It'll not use any online lookups. It will queue your logs to be done once you get online. So it will report to Logbook of the World or to your set once you get online, but not try to do it in the meantime.
Okay.
The next will toggle the gray line layer on and off, that little planet.
I really like I like seeing where the gray line is.
Yeah.
I think that's beneficial.
Yeah. And if you want to zoom out on the map, you can use the scroll wheel, or click the buttons if you want to zoom out to show the entire world. I'm going to jump through the buttons, and instead of going through each one, I'm going to suggest the spots, which is the fourth row, the last of the fourth row. Let's see. By now, we should have
view spot reports.
Yeah, click on that. There you go.
Nice.
That is who is hearing you right now on 6 meters.
Yeah, it's 6 meters. It's more.
And if you see on the roster, the spot column now has information. There's 2 people who are hearing you.
Yes.
And 2 who are not.
Okay.
So I normally just click on that spot column and use it to sort the table by it, so that the people who are spotted show up on the top.
Gotcha.
And that's where I focus my energies first. People who have spotted me. Let me get on 6 meters and see if you can hear me.
I see. I'll try to call KD5 WJV.
I'll tell the way your spots are going. I don't think you're not making it to New York. You're making it only to like Illinois, and yeah, that's a very, very focused.
I'm definitely making it to Michigan.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm not going to New York.
You're not making it to New York.
Almost to New York City, but not to the state of New York.
Yeah,
no.
I'm like 3 grids north of New York City.
Okay.
I'm on FM 21.
Okay.
I'll start calling CQ on 6 meters anyways, just because.
Okay.
Make sure the right antenna is selected. So that's the magic of spots, is that you can see who's hearing you. That makes a big difference.
Right.
And even if somebody is not showing you that they spot you on the roster, you can tell if it's from Michigan, it's worth a try, because you can tell that your signal is making it there.
Right.
That is the key. Same thing if you're working DX. If you're 20 meters right now, you could tell if you're making it to Europe or not at all.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, one thing that's not on the buttons, but it's if you click on the map and press the H key.
Click on the map, press the H key. Okay.
It'll change the spots from the lines to a heat map.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is like when you have a lot of spots, it's a great way to see where you're being heard or not.
If you're on 20 meters, that's probably more beneficial than 6 meters.
Yeah.
At least right now.
A little pro tip: if you zoom out, there's somebody's contacting back.
Yeah.
If you zoom out on the map, and this is something that, having been a GridTracker developer, like it happened to me twice, like 4 months apart. I could not figure out. Move the map to the right, like take a look at Africa, keep going. Take a look at Australia, keep going. Take a look at the US again, keep going. Like go back to the US. For some reason, and it's a problem with our map library, the heat maps are the heat map is not there
Oh, yeah.
because you
Okay.
went around the world. It's you have to press the Z key.
Z.
Yeah, to reset the
okay.
view.
Okay.
That's if it ever happens to you, try to remember that I told you this. If it ever happens to me again, I'll try to remember that I told you this.
Yeah.
It's a little annoyance that it's minor, so we're not going to spend too much time on fixing it. But one of these days we'll work on it.
Okay.
Another thing you can do, for example, is on the fourth row next to the trophy, there's a lightning icon. If you click on that on the map, the buttons.
All these buttons over here we've been clicking on?
Yes. So there's the third row, the second one on the third row.
Oh, the third. I thought you said fourth row. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Lightning strike detection is provided by bitzurtung.org. Okay.
So click on OK, and now you'll see, I don't know what the activity right now is around the US, but it'll show you a little lightning icon wherever there are storms.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no storms in here right now. It's sunny and hot today, so.
and just on the fifth row, there's also like a radar icon. It's the fourth row, the fourth one on you. Yes. That shows you the weather radar in the US.
Oh, that's really cool.
So you can tell if it's and maybe that's why you're making it 6 meters to Michigan and Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah, very possible.
Might be bouncing all those clouds.
Yeah.
You can also, there's next to that one, there's a time zone layer. It's the little next to the radar, before that one.
The one before that.
Yes.
Okay.
That'll show you time zones all over the world, and if you move your mouse, it'll show you the exact time in that place of that area of the world.
Oh, hey, that's neat. I like that. Okay.
What else is a good? There's another feature of GridTracker that we've added recently is the OAMS, and it's that on the sixth row, the row that only has two icons, there's like a chat bubble.
Yes.
That
messaging window.
That is a messaging window. If you click, you can chat with people.
Okay.
You have to enable it first. And that's all the people who are using GridTracker right now.
Okay.
You can, and in the roster, there's a column now. The next to last column says OEMS, and it has the same icon, so you can tell who in the roster is available through the chat.
In the roster. Oh yes. Okay.
So
KD5WJV, the guy I just worked, is using it.
Is using OAMS, and sometimes people will say, "Hey, thanks for the contact." But one good feature is that if somebody's using OAMS, they will send you spotting information directly.
Okay.
It doesn't have to go through PSK Reporter, and it doesn't have to wait 5 minutes. So you'll get their spotting info in real time.
Okay.
Often you'll get the spotting info before WSJT-X has finished the decoding cycle. It's get to the point where we're discussing about not updating the table in real time, because sometimes I'm moving the mouse trying to click on something, and the spotting info gets updated and it resorts the table, and it's a bit annoying. So real time sometimes is not as good as you think it is. So let's go back to the map, disable the heat map, maybe put the spots back into rows, disable the time zones, and you got a message. Yeah.
HI80 just sent me a message.
So at the bottom, there, if you click there, you'll see the.
Oh yeah, there he is. He's probably watching this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So you might want to disable the weather leave spotting if you want. But so
which one was the weather again?
the weather is the radar, the green circle.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
that one.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
Leave spots up if you want. Now, the trophy icon. If you click on that trophy, and by the way, if you go on the settings, you might want to disable alerts.
So
that you don't get the voice
alerts.
There's two things. One is the OAMS tab, and that you can disable the OAMS new message alert. And you can disable messaging if you want.
Yeah, I like the messaging. I wouldn't. Yeah. But is there a way to just turn off the audio?
The how do I do it? It might be in alerts. You know, I'll get back to you with that.
Okay, that's fine.
Again, like I say, I have no sound out of that computer, so I don't.
Oh yeah, so you don't hear it. Okay.
I don't hear it, so it might be.
Yeah.
It might be playing, but I just don't hear it, so I never had to.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Maybe somebody from the GridTracker team can answer in the chat.
Okay.
So click on the little trophy icon now.
Trophy icon. Okay, right there.
Okay. So the first time you click, it'll show CQ zones. Click. Did you click on it?
I did.
Why is it not showing?
It changed to WAC when I clicked on it. Just then.
That's work all continents.
Yeah.
Let's zoom out.
Work all states now.
Yeah. It's not updating the map.
It's not updating the map. No.
You broke GridTracker, man.
I probably did. Yeah. If anyone was going to do it, it's going to be me. I could tell you that right now.
Yeah.
DXCC. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to share, if I can share my screen, I can show you what my map looks like.
Let's go here and go. No, come on. Oh, there it is. Screen. Okay, you should be good now.
Share screen. Here we go. Can you see it?
And, yes. I'm going to switch my screen here. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Good. So this is my grids that I've worked. Red is confirmed. Yellow is unconfirmed. And if I click here, this is basically CQ zones I've worked, the ITU zones I've worked, continents I've worked, states I've worked, and this combines with the mode. So if I change the band to 20 meters or to 15 meters, it'll show the states I've worked in 15 meters in digital or in phone or in CW. So you can use it. If you leave it in mix, it'll show everything, but it's a good way to browse your log. It shows DXCC. And one thing I use this for is to actually go zoom in and browse and figure out
figure out what country is what.
What is what.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's a great thing, especially all the islands in the Pacific. You can go check out what is what, where is each one of them. It shows U.S. counties. It does have so many of them that the map gets a bit slow, but you can see which counties you've worked. And the grids for the 48 states, the continental grids. And it goes back. And it's better than clicking here. If you press 1, it goes through the 1 to 7 rotates through those. So you can go quickly to DXCC by pressing 6 and counties by pressing 7, and 1 takes you back to just grids.
Gotcha. Now, why isn't mine working? Is it because I have the spots showing, or?
I don't know why it didn't show the That's odd.
Cycle awards overlays.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
That
have
would be nice to see, but I'll have to tinker with that, I guess.
I wonder if
So,
it's because you have nothing confirmed. I don't know. It's
well, that's possible. Yeah. So maybe after we end here tonight, I'll
yeah.
set up my logbook of the world to
Hey,
be
my spots say I'm making it to Texas, but I don't see anybody now.
what's your call sign again?
KI2D. Oh, and a
KI2D.
little thing that we've added just to as a way to thank all the people working on GridTracker and that have donated money and helped us. We've
Yeah.
added little emoji icons to the call signs of people who've helped GridTracker.
Ah.
So
Okay.
if you see me in the roster, it'll have a little arepa, like a flatbread icon. Some our testers get a pizza icon, our contributors get like stars and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see a little icon next to my call sign
Okay.
when you see me.
Okay. Awesome.
If you donate money, we'll add an icon for you.
Okay. I might do that. This is a cool system. I really like this. I've seen it used on other a couple other YouTuber guys use it, and I've seen a couple of my friends use it. And I'm like, man, I gotta sit down and set that up one of these days. So I'm glad that I was able to get you guys to come on and show me how to do it.
The main thing for me is that it tells me where to focus my time.
Right.
Like I can pick somebody who in a grid I've never worked or a county I've never worked, or sometimes I look at 20 meters and I've worked all the grids, worked all the prefixes, but not work one county. And I'll go and click on that county and I'll get it and add one more to the list.
Yeah.
And with that, it's like in a year I've worked, I don't know, 16,000 counties.
Oh wow.
It's about half of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I knew who to contact.
Right.
I had my pick between the 5 guys who were hearing me.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a new county.
Right.
So I could work it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with prefixes and like states. And also it's great at working multi-band awards like the
Mm-hmm.
DXCC challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You'd know you've worked Aruba in 20 meters, but now you're working 17 and Aruba shows up. Should you spend time trying to contact Aruba or not? It'll tell you whether you've worked it on 17 or not. And it'll have all that, like with using nice color highlighting to tell you where to spend your time.
That's cool.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I don't know if somebody has a question.
I think Tag's been in there pretty regularly. Matthew Chambers, who I assume is somebody, one of the developers, he's been answering questions as well.
Yeah.
So Hayden asked what antenna. I saw your question a while back, Hayden. What antenna are you using on 6 meters? Right now, I have my off-center fed dipole 6 to 40 meters. My N9 SEB antenna still up. It's a 100-watt limit antenna that I did a video on a couple weeks ago. So I need to trade that out for a 600-watt antenna I have, but I haven't done that yet. So, and then once I get I got a crank up tower. I got a crank up tower that someone gave me a crank up tower, but all the hardware, all the pulleys and the cords on them, they said were bad. They said you're gonna have to replace all this stuff, but you can have the tower. And I'm like, cool. So that's gonna be a fun project. I'm gonna do some videos on that. Maybe get with the Masterant guys or get with Gigaparts who carries Masterant stuff and rebuild the whole tower and then put the tower up. And I think it's like 61 or 65 feet when it's all the way up, but it comes down to like 21 feet, which is perfect for like a hex beam. So
if you don't want it, I'll take it.
Okay.
Hey, one thing also is very specific to Flex is that you can have WSJT running on multiple slices.
Yes.
You can configure 2 slices and you can have WSJT running, you run 2 of them. If you point both of them at GridTracker will know who is who. It will show you, it will add a column saying which band each one of the rows on the roster is for.
Okay.
And it will let you click on and send it to the right instance of WSJT.
Oh, so, okay. Okay.
The you need to make sure that to configure it right, and Santiago, one of our core members of the group, is working on a video to explain how to set that up. He has a Flex and he uses it that way. but
Okay.
it's a great way to control. And I think like every time I see a video of one of the FlexRadio guys, there's GridTracker in the background.
Yeah.
They spend more screen real estate on GridTracker than on the FlexRadio
Right. Yeah.
apps.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's
Yeah. Well, I mean,
uh,
the radio software running, it just runs, and
yeah,
then use everything else to control it. So you
yeah.
don't really need to look at the radio software
You know,
so much. But
JP at FlexRadio knows what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah,
So it's a
uh,
great way to control two instances of GridTracker, and
uh-huh.
of two instances of WSJT. And the great
Yeah.
thing about GridTracker is that I mean, you right now have like 4 or 5. I If I go on 20 meters, sometimes I
Mhm.
have literally 150 stations talking at the same time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's worse than trying to participate in a contest
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
trying to. So you can filter out. You can also use some of the options in the roster to get rid of the ones that have too like low power, or like they're not loud enough on your location. Get
Yeah.
rid of some of the ones that don't use LOTW if you want. So you can reduce the noise and help you pick again
Right.
who to contact. And imagine trying to pick between 150 stations in the message window of WSJT-X. That's a
Mhm.
nightmare. That's
Mhm.
impossible. Like scroll so fast you can't click.
Yeah.
Whereas here we give you a nice clean list that you can
Mhm.
prioritize by whatever you feel like is important to you.
Now tell me how to get back to the grid view. I know we switched it to this line,
So
whatever.
if you press U, it might show the awards. That might be what's missing.
No, that
You
doesn't do
might
anything.
if you kill the spot, press 1 on your
One.
keyboard
No.
and press the spots to disable the spots. Go for the to your right and down. There. You enable the grid, which is like the bottom. Go one down and click on that.
Ah.
Okay. So now
Okay.
you have the grid. I think that there's a the U key will show both grids and awards, and I think that this is because we had everything at the same time.
Oh, okay.
If you press 3 or 4 in your keyboard now.
3. That's
Yeah, there we
3.
go. Now we're showing the layers of the
Okay.
awards.
Okay.
If you press U, it'll show both the grid and the awards,
Gotcha.
and that might be
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
And if you press 1, it goes back to the first view.
Okay. I think I like this view the
Yeah.
best.
You can also there's the what was it? I think is shift. There's a function key. You can save your map view using the 6, 7, 8, 9 by pressing shift or function shift. Yeah, function 6 will restore the view. Shift function 6 will set it. If you want to have a map that's centered in the US, or one that's centered in the entire world, or one that's like US and Europe, or US
Mhm.
and Australia, you can save. If you There's the help button, which is the last one in the second row. It'll show a little window with a bunch of shortcuts.
Oh, there's all your shortcuts. Okay, good.
Yes, yes.
That's good information to have. Okay.
And as far as I know,
Okay.
that window does have all of the shortcuts.
Okay.
If
Okay.
it's missing one, it's a bug. You can file it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm calling Barbados, or no, not Barbados, Curacao right now.
Nice.
Papa Japan 2 Sierra Mike. So he's coming in a -14 to me. So good.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything on 6 meters. I'm gonna go.
I switched to 17. I'm on 17 now. It's
Let's see if I.
It's oh, he's coming back to me now. So yeah, 6 meters kind of. I mean, I was still seeing activity, but
Yeah.
it was slowing down. So I switched to 17. 17's been hot here for the last month or so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, GridTracker is a full-blown open source project.
Mhm.
We welcome contributions from anybody. The source code is available on GitLab,
GitLab, okay.
which is like GitHub, but not GitHub. GitLab. The link to GitLab is probably in the GridTracker.org project. We have a Discord server where we discuss everything. We also have a Groups.io group and a Facebook group where we pay attention to what people are talking. But if you really want to get the ears of the developers, the Discord is the place to go. Or go to GitLab and file, because what we often tell you if you show up on Discord is great. That's a great bug you found. Can you please go to to GitLab and enter the information as a ticket, so we can track it and we can work on it.
Okay.
Part of the open source workflow is that you have to help us work on it too. Like this is not like a commercial software company. You call a 1-800 number. You say it's not working.
Yeah.
And we tell you, have you tried to unplug it and plug it again?
Right.
So just helping us identifying the bugs and detail the steps needed to reproduce it, that is already super helpful. So that by itself, that's how you contribute, even if you don't know how to code.
Okay.
Where we have people contributing with the documentation. We have people just contributing, managing the process, like managing all those tickets and what has been reported, and building the releases and improving it every day.
Well, this is cool. Very
and
cool.
I'm not gonna call them by name because they're too many. I'm like, like other than Tag, I'm the most important guy there now because I've been online and they'll show up in a YouTube stream. So no, I'm kidding. No, like Tag, Matthew, Christian, John, Don, Santiago. There's a lot of people, Ross, that have been helping a lot, and the team is growing, and it's really great to work on a team effort like this.
You have to give me I'd like to join your Discord server if that's open. I have a Discord server of my own, so I'm in Discord all the time.
Yeah, and GridTracker.org has a link to the Discord. That's the easiest.
Okay, I can find it there. That's fine. Yeah,
I believe so. I don't know. I joined the Discord before we updated it. Yes, there's a Discord link there.
Okay.
And what I don't see is the the link to GitLab. We might need to put it there up front. Yeah, I don't see it there in the front, but we'll add that.
Okay. We'll find that. Okay, good. Cool. Well, hey man, thanks for this is really cool. I just worked U.S. Virgin Islands, so
good. Career vacation.
There's Puerto Rico. It's calling CQDX. I'll go to that guy, N3AZ. I'll call him back. So yeah, but this is really cool. Look at the red. Ham World Online says, look at the red line with signals to you and from you.
Oh yeah, when you're in the middle of a QSO, the spot lines they're all blue, but you'll see a red line for the contact that you're making, and you can also see lines for people you see contacting each other based on the messages we see on WSJT-X. So that line you see right now.
So yeah, so this line right here that's who I'm or no.
That is that it's somebody in the grid next to you is contacting somebody in Colombia.
Oh, okay. So
and you can enable that or disable that in the options.
No, that's kind of neat. I like that. AA5HH is who's doing that. Okay.
Yeah, it tells you what conversations are happening around you.
Okay.
If you enable the spots, that red line is your QSO.
That's my QSO. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
And if you enable the spots on it'll show the blue lines for who can listen, who's been copying you right now. It's the fourth row, the last one in the fourth row. Yeah.
Oh. You can I like this view better. Unless you can have both of them at the same time.
You should be able to, if you type U maybe. I don't know if the U lets you see multiple layers. Yeah, I don't know. You do get the red line with spots. I get the red line with spots. I don't know what you're not.
Do you? Yeah, I'm not seeing a red line with spots.
There's a bunch of settings in the. Yeah, the fact that when you click on spots, it shows you the flags is something. Might have pressed one button too many.
Okay.
You know what I hate when I'm using GridTracker and I'm go to a chat window and start typing a message and realize I did not leave the GridTracker window. By tapping the message,
and then you've
I
changed everything.
blew everything. Yes.
Yeah, because you're typing all kinds of shortcuts.
Yeah. No, that's a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll see if I can figure out what happened there, and I'll send you a message.
I like this view right here. It would be nice to have this view overlaid on it, but I like this view right here.
Try the T key. Tag says
T.
T is for tag.
No, that's not. That doesn't seem to do anything.
That didn't. No. Well, T is still for tag, but that didn't work.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
so
I went to spots and hit T, and then that did it.
So, there you go. So you have spots. You have the QSOs, your QSO.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Everything.
Nice. That's good.
And the kitchen sink.
And the kitchen sink. Yeah.
The settings, you can change the map styles to something else if you want, to a dark map, to a greener map.
Okay.
There are many options. You can configure the colors of the lines. There's lots of things to configure. It does the next step for you is to figure out how to get LOTW connected.
Well, I'll just log in. I mean, that's just, I could just go to the settings and enter my username and password in that field.
That should be.
It should just it should just take my existing, the ADIF file that I have on this computer is probably 2 years old.
So it'll download everything you have there, whether it came from this computer or not.
Right. Yeah. And most everything, I think my last upload to Logbook of the World, which I usually just do it manually from this computer, was like a month ago. So since all these band openings have come open, the 6 meters, I made 3 or 4 contacts on 12 meters yesterday.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember the last time I saw anything open on 12 meters.
Yeah.
But I mean, so all of these new contacts with these new band openings in the last month or so, I haven't uploaded those.
So the thing to remember is that if you open the settings and you add your login and password for LOTW, there's 3 rows of checkboxes. One is to get the data on startup. So when you first open GridTracker, it'll get a fresh download from LOTW.
Yeah.
It will also add a new button on the very last row, probably. Right next, I think I see the log cure set there in your buttons, next to the time zone button. So whatever you enable there, the 5th row, the first 2 buttons in the 5th row.
Yes, these 2. Okay.
Yeah, you'll get one there for LOTW.
PSK.
Yeah. Whenever you click on that button, it'll download.
Gotcha.
A fresh update from LOTW.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you have another station where you also log that has updated LOTW, or if you want to get updates to what people have confirmed with LOTW, then you click on that button. So it's the kind of button you click once a day. It'll load on startup of GridTracker, but if you leave it running 24/7, then every day or so you click on that button, you get a fresh set of confirmations.
Yeah.
And things start to look more red than yellow.
I leave my FlexRadio on almost all the time, and I leave my WSJT-X running overnight. Sometimes I'll be clicking on it, whatnot, and I'll fall asleep or something, and I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, it's still running. So
a little tip. The way I do it is with JST-DX. JT-DX is better than WST-X for that because it needs fewer clicks.
Okay.
I have the JT-DX window on top of the roster because I can use my phone to connect with VNC, and kind of like in the vertical screen of the phone, it'll show enough information on one phone screen for me to make to decide who to contact. So when I have the computer running all the time, but even when I'm like doing things around the house, let me pull up my phone, connect. Yeah, there's somebody here. Let's start a QSO.
Right. Yeah.
You don't need the but it helps if you put the roster below the JST or the WSJT-DX window. That way you don't have to move too much.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, that's fine.
That's the way I
So
do it, kind of like that.
I'll move this right
Yeah,
here.
and then you click on show fewer fields so that you get more of the roster window to be roster. You can spend a week moving things
Yeah.
around to
Well, you know what? And I figured out the hard way. I need to upgrade all my monitors from 1080p to 4K. Because I got a 2K monitor. I was in Office Max, I think it was. I don't remember. I was going in there looking for something totally random. I think Printer Inc. or something. I don't remember what it was. And I go by there and they have this 2K monitor, 32-inch 2K monitor, which is the monitor I'm using right there. And it was like $150. I'm like, okay, I gotta try. And it's awesome. And it's only 2K. It's not even 4K. And I'm like, and I've got all this real estate now that I'm not used to with a 1080p. And I'm like, oh, because I've been looking at 4K monitors for about a year. I just haven't bit the bullet to spend the money on one. So now I'm thinking I got to get 4K monitors there, and 2 in the house.
And if you use that 239 UDP multicast address,
yes,
you can have 2 different copies of GridTracker showing the map. So you can have one with a huge map in a dedicated monitor, showing a beautiful map of what's going on in the bands right now. And a different version of GridTracker in the computer you're actually using to control the radio, where you give more real estate to the roster window and to the everything else. So you can have multiple copies of GridTracker running at the same time, and that's where the 239 is helpful.
Nice. Okay.
They will all get the messages from WSJT-X.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool stuff. All right. Hey, man, Sebastian, this was awesome. This was really cool. This is definitely something I'm going to be tinkering with myself. I'm on FT8 pretty regularly. And so now answer this for me. And I think I know the answer, but I just want to hear you say it. But you can use GridTracker for more than just digital modes, right?
You can. It does not control or show the roster is only dedicated to WSJT-X.
Okay.
It works for FT4, FT8, any of the modes that WSJT work, but not for other modes. The map works great for anything in your log.
So if you have like log4om integrated into GridTracker and you're making QSOs via CW or single sideband,
they should show up
when you log those. They'll show up on the map.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So if you want to show your achievements, GridTracker is a great place to centralize your logs, download everything, and show it and be proud of them.
Yeah. Totally. Awesome. Well, this has been great, man. Tag says you can make GridTracker look like a geochron.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
There's plenty of customization in the config window.
Okay. I have to go tinker around with that in a little bit. So, hey, cool, man. This is, like I said, this has been really good. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I appreciate your time coming on today. Any last questions in the chat from anybody? Let us know if you have anything before we shut it down. So 17 meters is looking really good, though. I like it when 15 meters has been kind of open off and on, and it's always pointed south for whatever reason. So I'm working like Ecuador, Brazil, Chile, all these places in South America. It's been really fun.
One of the downside of being a new ham is that I've only had this is my first entire year working the bands, and on the worst year at the end of the cycle 24,
right
at the bottom of a cycle. But it's you start noticing the patterns. Like in the winter, you get more Brazil and South Africa than in the summer, because the gray line helps you there. And but it's a lot easier when you see the lines in the map. You kind of understand what's going on when you see those spot lines. Yeah,
that is true. That's true.
Yeah, no, it's I didn't see Mark W2COD. He was trying to work me, but I couldn't see him here.
Oh,
too late.
I see him. He's He's working N5 FWB right now.
Yeah, send my regards.
Good. Well, Sebastian, thanks a lot, man. I really do appreciate your time, especially on a Father's Day weekend.
My pleasure. You know where to find us, so if you can,
Yeah.
if you want to ask any questions, we'll play dumb and ignore them, but you know where to send them.
Good. Yeah.
At least you feel good that you send the question, you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you just have time to figure it out yourself. Yeah. But that's good. But I have I would like to put some time into kind of learning this on myself, then have you back on in a couple of months to say,
sure,
you know, maybe what you said you were trying to do monthly updates to it. Is that correct?
That's our goal. Sometimes we even do more frequent than that, because there's like bad bugs that we discover. But that's our goal, to have like a regular schedule.
Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight. I appreciate you being here, and I'll definitely follow up with you in a couple months, and we'll get you back on. We'll do some more stuff, maybe dive a little bit deeper into it, and do like a series of videos. That'd be really fun.
No, and thank you for your channel. It actually helped me a lot when I started. So.
Oh well, thank you.
Thanks for that.
Good. Always good to hear that. Good to hear that. All right. Thanks a lot, man. You have a good evening.
Great. You too. Happy Father's Day for everybody.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. You too. Have a good one. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I'm going to take that off now. My ears start to sweat in here because it's hot. But this was fun. Really, thanks to Tag and to, I think the other guy's name was Matthew, for being in the chat tonight and fielding questions. That was really good to get knowledgeable people about the subject matter in the chat to answer questions. And that is always good to have as well. So I've got so much real estate. I've only got so much real estate here, Don. So I had the WSJT-X waterfall up, and I keep that up normally. But now I've got like 3 more windows to have on top of my screen. So, like I said, need a 4K monitor. Somebody said 1080p is 2K is 1080p. That's not correct. 1080p is HD. 2K is actually 1440. So this monitor I have right here is 1440 by 28 something. I forget, but I think it's 1440. I think that's it. I can't remember. But 4K is 3860 by 1440. I'm thinking of 4K. I think 2K is like 13 something. I don't remember. Anyway, there's a difference. There's a 1080p, there's a 2K, and there's a 4K. And just go 4K. I got this 2K. I really like it, but it's not 4K. So. Plus, I'm actually remoted. The computer that I'm using, that I have SmartSDR and now GridTracker and WSJT-X, the computer that all of that is on is behind me, and I'm using a remote desktop session here on my big monitor, but it's remoted into the computer behind me, which is only outputting 1080p. So it's kind of not, I'm not taking advantage of the 2K monitor doing it the way I'm doing it. But I have 3 computers here in the shack with me. One of them, my streaming computer, I just have streaming stuff on. I don't have any radio software. I don't have SmartSDR. I don't have anything like that on it. I just use it for streaming. So I use remote desktop to connect to other computers to do stuff. So that it's just kind of, it makes it easier when you're streaming to have less junk on your computer, because streaming is not for the faint of heart. We'll put it that way. So as we found out on the happy hour, that was fun, having the happy hour botch on me an hour and a half into it. Anyway, good. That's it. You're right, Scott. 4K is 2160p. You're right. See, I can't. Yeah, 3840 by 2160. That's I can't. I don't know. I think 1440 is the 2K number. I think that's what this monitor is, like 26 or 28 something by 1440. I think that's what this is. So it's bigger than 1080p, but it's not 4K. But anyway, that's what that is. So, hey, thanks again, guys, for being here tonight. 73 to all. Catch me tomorrow for Prime Day live stream. I will, and you guys go out there and if you want to support the show in any way, you can go shop my Amazon store, where I can make affiliate commissions on some items, depending on what you buy. Depending on what you get. But don't buy anything tonight. Wait until tomorrow. Wait until Prime Day starts tomorrow, and then go out here and click on that link and search Prime Day and see what you got. So, but it does help support the show. So we'll be live streaming tomorrow at 3 o'clock Texas time, and again on Tuesday at 3 o'clock Texas time. There's a really good lineup of Monday Night Ham Radio videos that start around 5 o'clock tomorrow. So I'll be introducing those. I'll be talking about those. We talk about Prime Day. We talk about Field Day upcoming. I think the guys at Ham Radio Clubhouse on Tuesday night are talking about Field Day. Field Day, of course, is next weekend. And this time next weekend for my Sunday night live stream, we'll be talking about Field Day. And I think Bob from R-Finder is going. He's flying in on Thursday. He's going to do Field Day with us. I think he's staying until Monday, in which case he'll be here with me. I let him stay in my guest room on Sunday night. And so I'm going to have him sitting right there on Sunday night. We're going to talk about a Field Day recap, what we did, that kind of stuff. And I think we're going to have something cool to do that following day on Monday here locally. Don't want to spill the beans on that too much yet, but be watching for that. We're going to do something locally. Bob and I are going to do something locally here on Monday after Field Day. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Everybody's fingers crossed. And I'll let you guys know what that is. And maybe you can come out and join us and hang out, and we'll go have a beer or something that night. So 73 to all. Thank you for... Hayden says Prime Day is today. Well, it is for you. And whatever your lottery numbers are today, Hayden, you need to send them to me so I can put those in and win the lottery, and then I'll split it with you. Because he's like 15 hours ahead of us. So awesome stuff for Sunday night live stream. 73 to all. Thanks for being here tonight. Catch us tomorrow, 3 o'clock for Prime Day live stream 2021. You guys have a good evening. Stay cool out there.